So welcome on in to today's recovery class. And for practice today, you're going to need a little mini foam roller or a water bottle or a rolling pin. A couple of balls. I'm using the black roll recovery balls here, and a couple of blocks and a bolster. So a few things. So today we're going to work a little bit on stimulating the back line of the body, so the kidney meridian, so calves, feet, calves, and back line. And then I want to spend the rest of the time actually working through opening up through the front of the body. So to begin, I'm not going to use the ball, we're going to use the little mini roller. But of course, if you have just the ball, use the ball. That's all good. Just start off with rolling the feet on the little roller. And just placing the ball of the foot there, a few little rolls. Rolling pin, a broom handle would all be really perfect for this. And then if you've got your morning cup of coffee, grab that and have a few sips while you're rolling out your feet. So if you're working with the little mini roller or broomstick, start to gently roll onto the pinky edge side of the foot. And it does really feel like you are kneading that connective tissue and fascia in your feet here. So then kind of shift the weight to the arch of the foot. Already feels really calming. And back into the arch. Kind of now what I'll ask you to do, if you want to, is to put the heel down and lean into that arch of the foot stretch, plus also getting a little bit of a calf stretch. Come back from a beautiful night or day in the Barossa yesterday. One of my favourite vineyards. It was really nice. Oh, maybe a little opening through the chest here. Reaching the hands back behind you. Oh, while you're stretching out those feet. And then using the ball for that, for the last little bit, coming into the ball of the foot now. So kidney 1, so right in the center of the ball of the foot is it's the only trigger point or acupuncture point for kidneys. It's the only acupuncture point in the sole of the foot. So right in the right in the center of the ball of the foot, there's kidney 1. And sometimes referred to as the bubbling brook. If we think about the kidney meridian, its element is water. And so when we press into the center of the ball of the foot, we're kind of stimulating the bubbling brook, the bubbling spring, this beautiful flush of energy all the way up the back of the legs there. Oh, I can certainly feel it. It's already feeling a little more easeful for me, and then we'll just move over to the other foot. Just as you walk to grab your roller, just notice the difference, one foot compared to the other. Even that left leg of mine just feels easier in the hip. So we'll shift onto the foam roller into the arch of the right foot, coming into the big toe side, and the pinky edge side. Oh. Roll through the arch. Oh, yeah. Nice little roll just to the fleshy part of the pad of the heel, back into the ball of the foot. You might feel like what's the best way that I can describe it? You might feel a sensation all the way up into the back of your legs, and it's perfect. It's all part of that big superficial backliner connective tissue in the backline of your body. A little press down, ball of foot there, and then heel down. Give yourself a little calf stretch. Maybe a little rock from side to side might give you something different there too. Right up into my hamstrings. And then a little ease off that, and then move to the ball. So ball of foot right in the center of the ball. And the ball right in the center of the foot. The ball to the ball of the foot. Do a little bit of like a few little rainbows across the foot if that felt comfortable. Hey, puffing belly. And scouty. And one last little flush through the foot, and then come to stand on your 2 feet and just feel that in the body. Take a big breath in, reach the hands up and back, stretch out through your tummy, and then arms circle around, little roll on forward over your legs, a little forward fold. Just noticing how that feels in the back line of the body. Just a few more rounds of breath there. And then slowly start to ease your way onto hands and knees. And we'll just take a few little rounds of cat-cow here. Tuck my t-shirt in. Little belly drops, heart pulls forward. Little cat-cow stretch there. And then exhale as you scooping around through belly and lift up into your cat stretch. So belly drops, heart pulls forward, breath in. And then breath out as you scoop up around. Think lower back. Also of this lumbar flexion here. Breath in, belly drops, heart pulls forward. And then breath out, tail tucks under, so tail tucks under. See if we can get that lumbar flexion there. So if you're like me, really generously rounded through the upper back, I want you to think more of the tail tucking under, so you really get that roundness between bottom ribs down to your tailbone. Just one more round there. And that length through front body. And then tail tucks under, tuck, 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 tuck. Ooh, round that up. And then back through center. Big full breath in and up. And again, breath in and up. Fabulous. We're going to start with the quads, so coming into the thighs. I don't know about you, but my thighs are so tight and I can feel them pulling on my hip flexors, which is conversely pulling on my back. My lower back's been really quite angry this last couple of days. So we're really going to spend some good quality time through the quads. So just bring your bolster to the front of your mat. You might want that to kind of support your head on, because sometimes the quads can be pretty intense. So I'm just going to come and lie on my belly, place the little miniature foam roller. Now, if you don't have a miniature foam roller, but you have, the balls, you can always place the ball onto the thigh. And see how I've tucked my back toes And I'm just wiggling my leg like so over the roller. So I've just started maybe 5 centimeters above my knee, so I'm nowhere near the kneecap. And I'm just gently, 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 just wriggling that leg from side to side. So I'm feeling, getting that gentle little release here. So the bolster's underneath my forearms and a little bit of spinal extension, just not so bad for us. And then once I've kind of introduced the massage tool to that right leg, I'll lift my heel and then just shift my leg from side to side. And I'm just doing little windscreen wipers, so turning the leg out a little, turning it in, rocking from side to side. You can do some little circles, feels very, very ropey. Little circles, little windscreen wipers, whatever your body's able to cope with. Even just a bend and a stretch might be all you can cope with, or no movement at all. Just letting the muscle go really floppy over the foam roll. Nice little relax of the muscle over the tool. Little rounds of breath there. And then I'm going to move the roller about mid-thigh. Prop up on my elbows just a little bit. My left leg is bent out to the side, which makes it a little less loaded on the tummy and the shoulders. You can also have a little play with turning the leg in. I'm going to touch the outer edge. Just have a little play with turning the leg out so you get a little bit of the inner thigh. And then let the body relax as you bring the massage tool to mid-thigh now. So that, for me, it's the tightest part. And I can actually feel those tight quads referring into my lower back, which is where yesterday, standing up for most of the day, I was feeling that pain. It'll rock from side to side in my lower back. I'm just starting off with this little kind of rocking the leg from side to side, if you can see that. A little bend and stretch. I'm going to bring the heel to my bum and then move from side to side here. Mid-thigh now. You might wonder, how is this actually relaxing? Well, what is relaxing or what is easeful is when we go to stretch the muscle after doing this myofascial work, and we'll test the right side versus the left side in a pretty generic thigh stretch, and that's where you're going to feel the difference. Third and final spot, we'll come up a little bit higher up the thigh. And the last little bit is we're just going to hit the the intersection of where your IT band connects here. However, we're going to do where the lateral hamstring connects behind the knee, the quad connects to the knee. I'm just going to come on the side and I'll show you. Oh, you see from the back side where that roller is. Top leg's just going to rest on top. And then I'm going to do little marches here. So one of my teachers suggested that rather than rolling out the iliotibial band, that we just do the intersection of where all the muscles kind of connect and put most of the pressure on the knee. And so this little spot here, sometimes, and then you can roll. Sometimes the best thing you can do, you can lift legs up and down. So you're massaging the muscles around where the IT band, iliotibial band, connects just to the side of the knee. And it's the muscles get tight rather than your IT band being tight. So when the muscles are tight, they pull on the iliotibial band, and we want the ITB to be really strong. It is in essence what holds us upright. So we would need that to stay strong, but we want the muscles to be pliable and relaxed. And in particular, what this practice does is it relaxes the connective tissue, the fascia on the outside of the muscles. And then once that's a little bit softened, then it gives the muscles a bit more space to be able to breathe. Just last little bit there. And then release. So come back and lie on the left side and just take a little side lying thigh stretch. So bring your right foot into your right hand, draw the knees together, bring that heel towards your bum, and just give your right thigh a stretch. And then before we move on, we'll just pick up the left knee and give the left thigh a stretch. Now I might go away from you to do my left leg. Oh, and that feels so much tighter. All right, so before we move to the left side, just roll on up. You're going to place the bolster or a cushion underneath your right knee, and we'll take a little thigh stretch here. I've come up more upright, I've tucked my hip under, reach back and then grab my right foot and then tuck the tail under, bring my heel to my bum. You can have something beside you or use the wall, and just give that right thigh, hip flexor, a really good stretch. I'm just going to have another little sip of my morning without losing my balance, coughing. Another round of breath there. And then an easeful little release. And before we move on, we'll just do that to the left leg. And so you've got a little bit of it's much harder. I need to bring my left foot to my hand. But just do a little sense check there. Feel the difference between the two. And that's definitely a lot tighter. So I'll just move in the opposite direction. And you don't have to, of course. And let's come in and do that left leg. You might even notice, even before we've rolled the left leg, the right kneecap feels a little softer, the right thigh feels fluffier. I can feel the restriction around the top of my kneecap here on the left side. All right, so let's do it. So right roller just above Where's the what is that? Oh, it's so uncomfortable. Oh, and then roll that down a little bit. And then we start again. So that little wiggle from side to side. I can imagine a rolling pin. If you're working with a metal drink bottle or a rolling pin, this would be pretty intense. Not that there's much give in this mini foam roller, just saying. Just a little rock side to side. So just introduce the massage tool to the body. Maybe the heel comes to the bum. Do those little circles. Gentle, simple movement. Rolling the muscle over the tool. Or maybe just pausing there. Maybe a bend and a stretch. Oh, goodness. This easy little oh my goodness, it's so sore. You can almost feel the front body softening and letting go once you start to let the front of the body relax a little. Oh. Little lift up, move the roller mid-thigh and keep the breath nice and steady. We'll explore rolling onto the outer edge or rolling more medially, so turning the leg out just a little. Letting the leg really relax over the roller. That little bend and stretch. Little wriggle side to side. Roller up to that third and final spot. So a little bit higher up the thigh. Relax the muscle over the massage tool. Let the body be heavy here. Last few breaths there. Little spots. And what I've done here is I've just rolled over onto my left a little, so I'm getting more outer edge, outer seams. Oh my goodness. Last few breaths there. Let's just give those little legs some freedom, hey? Take that little thigh stretch. Oh, cat pulling its tail is actually really nice. And so often with cat pulling its tail, the tightness of your quads doesn't make this stretch really that simple. So it felt really easy just to reach around and grab my foot. Oh, so much better. Really struggling yesterday with my legs. A little release of the foot, and then we'll come up and take that quad stretch on the bolster or your cushion. Slide the bolster underneath your left knee and then foot forward and a little tuck under of the hips. Oh. Oops, hamstring cramp there. I'm actually going to reach this foot around. Here we go, and do a twist. When you think about it, if I get my balance here, this is like your cat pulling its tail, but upright. So good. Got 3, 2, and 1. Well done. I'm just going to come up to stand and come into a little forward fold. Definitely a hamstring cramp there for sure. And then come all the way up to stand. Oh, nice. Shake out those little legs. So good. Few little hip circles there. Just notice how do those legs feel in comparison in comparison to how they felt standing upright at the beginning of class. Let's come into a little forward fold. Down over those legs. Will help ease out that teeny tiny little hamstring cramp that I had in my left side. And then drop the knees down onto the mat. Little tuck of the toes, sit back on the heels, little toe stretch there. And then you're also getting a little thigh stretch too. Okay, so before we move on into the next bit, just roll your way on up to stand. Take out those shoulders.